Hi there, I'm an Ultimate Iron Man. Sort of. I've divided the Runescape map into 18 regions, all with their own custom-built task system. These tasks provide rewards to me, such as XP and supplies. Every week, I will randomly select one of these regions and I'll be locked to it for 9 hours. Once up, my inventory and ward equipment will be wiped. My bank will be operating on a store-only basis, which means I can never take items out of it. I have compiled a list of RuneScape bosses, and the goal of this series is to kill all of them at least once. With every boss killed for the first time, I'm awarded either the choice of an additional region every week, or the ability to carry over one inventory slot every single week. Lastly, all of this content will be streamed live at twitch.tv/MrFrogRS, so be sure to join in. If you need any more information, make sure you check out the description, or just leave a comment. Without further ado, I bring you Regional Rumble! So stupid. But we are going to roll ourselves some more regions for next week of Regional Rumble, hoping for Asgarnia. That gives us another step towards Animal Magnetism getting completed. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel. Okay. Yeah, I'm not too... Yeah, they're pretty good. Honestly, I've got some plans. I'm not out of content just yet, don't you worry. So let's move on to another week of Regional Rumble. Hello and welcome to another episode of Regional Rumble. This week we have ourselves the Desert, Karamja, Fremennik, and Ardoon. As you can see, we are starting ourselves in Ardoon, but only briefly. I am going to be transitioning to the desert later on in this episode because we are going to try and complete Beneath Curse Sand. Now, if you may remember, the last time we attempted this quest, we had ourselves a yew shortbow and I believe mithril arrows. It might have been adamant, I don't remember exactly. But it wasn't exactly the best gear. We now have ourselves a rune crossbow with emerald bolts and diamond bolts that are also in our pouch, so we should have a much better time of doing it. But I started in Ardi because I want to head over to the Chaos Druids over here, so we can get ourselves some Ranars and some Haralanders. Unfortunately, we can't get super energies this week. We do not have Mauritania. We have no access to Mort Maya Fungus, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. We'll get ourselves some Haralanders, get some regular energy potions. Hopefully that will do the trick, and obviously the Ranars are for the prayer potions. And we'll be able to gear ourselves up for Beneath Curse Sands. I will be doing that at the end of the episode. Somewhere along the middle of the episode, I'm going to be working on getting myself some more bolts, because with the Fremennik lands, it's very, very good for making mithril bolts and getting emerald bolt tips. It has everything you need within Keldagrim, so we can use that. And we also have the Agility Pyramid to make a bunch of money, so I'm going to be working on that as well. But with that said, we're going to go and start the timer. Better remember to do that before we go anywhere. And the first thing we are going to do before we go over to Chaos Druids is move our house, because it is currently in Southern Karen, and obviously we do not have that region. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to relocate the house to... Well, first of all, we can put it in your nil now because we've got 50 construction. Not useful for this week, but I just wanted to highlight that anyway. We're going to put it into Poly, and the reason I want to do this is because I have 3 locations I could put it this week. Poly, Roleka, and Brimhaven. First of all, Poly is the cheapest. So there's no point wasting my money putting it somewhere else. And secondly, we're going to be using the desert a lot anyway, so it'd be good to have our house down there. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any air or earth runes, and I think that would be the slowest way to get there anyway. So we're just going to home teleport. We're going to make our way over to the house portal through the desert, and we're going to get ourselves some voids so we can take out the Chaos Druids with a bit more ease. Alright, that's the void collected. Let's head back over to Ardi. We'll have to go out here to use the minigame teleport, because you can't use minigame teleports in your house for some odd reason. Oh, there we go. That's literally every herb that we need. Okay, cool. Alright, we're done here then. Didn't get any earth runes. I really wish I got some earth runes so I could teleport to house. Might try and figure out a cheeky way of getting them. And then I'll sort out these potions. I can't find anything else that drops earth runes reliably. 1 in 64 from Chaos Druids is going to have to do. A little bit annoying. I was kind of hoping to get the earth runes before I got the herbs, but RNG just don't work like that. Earth runes! We only killed like 5 more, but yay! We got 9 earth runes. That's 9 teleports to house. Absolutely perfect. The next step now is to make all these potions. I'm going to need to get some vials of water. I had some from the Chaos Druids, but it's not enough to do all of it. I am probably going to be very lazy, and I'm just going to buy some plant cure from the farming shop and empty it. I could go to Karamdra and buy vials of water. Actually, no, I can get them from Ardi. What am I talking about? There's quite literally a shop that sells vials of water. I'm being an idiot. Do you know what? I'm going to go Karamdra anyway, because I need to get a pestle and mortar so I can crush unicorn horn to make these super anti-poison. But I did have vials of water here anyway, so it's not like it made a massive difference. But once I've done that, we're going to be heading up to Releka so that we can get ourselves some unicorn horns, and also so we can head over to Waterbirth Island and get ourselves some snake grass. So I've just looked at the wiki, and it's occurred to me I could have just bought a pestle and mortar in Releka, but I'm like halfway to the shop now. I kind of want to make the journey worth it, so we're getting it from Karamdra. That is the prayer potions and the super anti-poison done. We are now going to head over to the desert. We're going to get ourselves some chocolate dust from Nada, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to note up all these potions while I do some stuff during the week. As I've said, I'm going to be working on getting a lot more bolts, and we're also going to do some agility pyramid for some more money. But I want to have these ready for the end of the week when we do go and take on the Beneath Cursed Sands boss. So yeah, we're going to have a nice stack of potions ready to go. Take that, and then energy potions. We don't even need to manually decant them because we're going to get them decanted over here anyway, which is going to get them noted. Person decant. I'm going to do it all into one dose so that it does actually note them. And then what we'll do is decant it into 4 doses. Drop the vials, and there we go. All of our potions are ready. The super anti-poison doesn't really save space because it's 1, so it'd be fine either way. Alright, well that went a lot quicker than I originally expected, so we are going to head over to the POH. I'm going to store the Void, and what we're going to do is take out Graceful. Probably going to mesh it a little bit with Desert Clothes, so I think I might store the body, legs, and boots. I'm pretty sure this is the wrong wardrobe. It is indeed. I always get these mixed up. But I'm going to mix them with the desert robes so that we can do some agility pyramid, get ourselves some money, and then I'll work on making some more bolts. Alright, so we've done ourselves several hours of the agility pyramid, and I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't really recorded anything because there hasn't really been anything to record. I have just done lap after lap of this. We did get ourselves 1 agility level at 68. Now we do need 70 in the future to be able to do the Sara God Wars, but I'm not going to grind that out here because that would just take ages, and I was mostly here for the money anyway, which we are now over 500,000 GP, which should last us for a while. This is actually one of the best ways for me to make money at this current point in time and just build up a cash stack so that when I carry it over to different regions or even store it in coffers, it could be very useful for the future grinds that we're doing. And I don't have to worry about making money in different regions, which sometimes can be very difficult. I mean, I don't really want to be going around pickpocketing men or guards to try and make money when I can just have 500,000 GP from the agility pyramid. Let's face it. Anyway, the next thing we are going to do is we are going to head over to the Blast Furnace, which is Keldagrim, because we have Frogadiers this week, which includes Keldagrim. What I might do is I might store some money in the coffers, or I might just go check what's in there at the moment, but I'm not going to store all of it because I want to keep some of it for next week, just in case we don't have a region where I can get my money out. And also what I want to do in this period now is we're going to make ourselves some mithril bolts. And then following that, I'm going to be using the gem store over there to buy emeralds, and we're going to be turning them into the emerald bolts. Now, I'm not going to be enchanting these this week, mostly because cosmic runes, I don't really have a good, decent access to them. I could kill monsters for them, but I don't think it's really worth it. What I am going to do is I'm going to make emerald bolts, and if we look in here, we have ourselves regular emerald bolts right here. And in the future, we've also got 12 mithril bolts, which I think I picked up from Chaos Druids or something earlier. I don't remember. Yeah, it was Chaos Druids when I was getting the herbs. We'll be able to make emerald bolts, and then in the future we'll be able to enchant them to make them emerald bolts E, which of course is going to be one of our main ammo sources. Now I do want to add on to this clip that I have realized something quite dire that is going to affect me this episode, and that is if I die during the Beneath Cursed Sands boss. Now every other time I've died, it's not mad, I can go back, get my stuff, no big deal. But the problem is we now have this. This selected iron, if I go onto here, will be deleted. No matter how I die, whether I have a skull, whether I do not have a skull, wildy, past level 20, doesn't matter. This gets deleted if I die. So essentially, if we die during the Beneath Cursed Sands boss, we are going to need to go back to Lumbridge and get another one. Now, on the bright side, we will not need to get more chickens, as far as I'm aware. We just need to get 5 iron bars and hand them in to the witch in Drayden Manor, which isn't honestly the hardest thing in the world. It just pushes us back a step with the animal magnetism quest, so that we'll have to go back to Draenor anyway, which kind of sucks. But then again, if we get Lumbridge and Asgardia anyway, it won't matter, because Asgardia is the next step regardless, and yeah, that will work out fine. But honestly, I'd much rather just not die, so I think I'm going to try and get myself like a one-click teleport for the fight, so that if we need to, we can instantly just abandon and jump out. We do have the energy potions, which should hopefully stop us from getting bombarded by the shadows and comboed like we were before. I think we also have a few more HP levels than we did last time, so I'm just hoping that I don't die during the boss fight. But I'm going to spend like the next hour and 50 or so minutes making some bolts so that we can prep for the future. And then, of course, like I said, once we get a region where I can buy cosmic runes, we'll be able to enchant them all, and we'll have lots and lots of bolts to use. And plus, once we get the Ava's device, we're going to be properly set up to use ranged, get ourselves to 70, and maybe get ourselves some carols. Right, so that's going to be it for the mithril bolts. We managed to make 2,590 bolt tips. We are going to get ourselves some emeralds now to put on the tips of them. Obviously, we're going to need to feather them, but I'll be getting the feathers later. Let's head over to the Kettlegrim Market. We'll be able to buy ourselves a ton of emeralds. Finally, finishing off the emeralds that we need. That is 2,592. We've got ourselves 1 hour and 38 minutes left. I'm going to go ahead and put all of these together, and then I'll head over to the desert to get myself some feathers. And that is going to finish our humongous stack of emerald bolts. We've got 10 mithril bolts left over, which are probably going to get wasted, but we can put the emerald bolts now in the bolt pouch, and that gives us a big chunk of them. In the future, when we can get ourselves some cosmic runes, we'll be able to enchant these and add them to the previous stack, putting us over to about 3,200 bolts, which is going to be absolutely insane. Right, so we keep these noted. I think the plan is we go to Softenham, we unnote them there, and then we sort our inventory at Softenham. This is what we're looking at. I'm going to have to get rid of a bit of food, and I think sacrificing the water skin to take a little bit of damage in the desert might be worth it. Right, so here's the game plan. We get rid of the water skin. We get rid of the earth runes. We can now teleport to Camelot. That is our escape. We do not want to die because we will lose this. And now we're going to try and unnote all of these. And if we need any more space, I'll just drop a little bit of food. But that is where we're at. And we'll see how well this goes. I'm going to need to drop 2 food for the energy potions. I do think they are important, though, because if I can't run, I'm probably going to get absolutely popped. That's our inventory. 12 food, 3 prayer potions, 3 energy potions, and a super anti-poison. Let's hope this goes well. I am incredibly nervous about this. Let's really try not to die. Let's go and take on the champion of Scabaros. Finish the kill. Finish. Finish. Yes! Woo! That was too close for comfort, but we have done it. Oh my god, I used like 100 bolts. They are so valuable, I'm going to go pick them all up. Oh, that was so close. The energy had me going. We had 2 food. And we had a whole prayer potion left. I think that's thanks to the holy symbol we had. A lot of prayer bonus from that. But with the 2 foods and the no energy, it was incredibly dicey getting through that. But oh my god, we are done. We've done this boss now. Still got 1 hour and 5 minutes left. And honestly, I'm shaking with how close that was. But I'm so happy we've done it. Okay, I don't think I'm going to take on the final boss. I'm not really prepared for it. I mean, I could get some food. We've still got 1 prayer pot. Maybe I could. I don't know, we've only got an hour left, so drop these empty vials. We're going to head back over to Nada and continue on with the quest, at least until the boss fight. Just go give him meat. What's the quickest way for me to get meat? Does it have to be meat? Or could it be fish? I'm assuming it has to be meat. Oh, that works. Right, we're going to go deliver the cure to soften him. And then we're going to stop with the quest. Mostly because the next step is to take on the final boss. And I don't think I'm very well prepared for it this week. So I'm going to spend the last 50 minutes or so doing some more agility pyramid, getting some more money. We'll train some more agility. And we'll finish off the week with that. I think that's way more beneficial for the future. I'm going to hand this in and do part of a lap for some XP. And then we'll end off this episode because I'm not going to complete a lap in 40 seconds. And I have nothing to store in the house. Right, well, that's the timer up. I was mid-obstacle, so I decided to finish it anyway. But that's going to be another episode of Regional Rumble completed. Right, with that week over, we are going to be carrying over the top 12 items of the inventory. That is the cash stamp. We've got 337,000. We've got the rune crossbow, the bolt pouch, the bar crawl card, 16 lore runes, red the eyed body, rune boots, the selected iron, helm of Natives Knot, the dragon longsword, the holy symbol, and the dragon defender. Moving on from this week, we're going to spin ourselves 4 new regions. I would really like to get the combination of like Lumbridge, Trolllands, and Asgarnia. That would be the most ideal. If not, I don't mind getting Varrock. There's quite a few things that I'd like to do. We've got a few quest steps that we need to do. And of course, we want to work towards animal magnetism completion. So let's go ahead and spin ourselves these regions. I'm not going to lie. I know I said there were some good options, but these are pretty bad. I've got a game plan, but it's probably not going to pan out the way I want it to. All I can say is I'm glad I've got plenty of money. But with that said, we're going to wrap it up here, and I'll see you guys next week for another episode of Regional Rumble.